Chapter 15. Fight Back. Alana's POV. When Aiden warned Rachel not to lay a finger on me, I must say that I was shocked. Never in my wildest dream did I ever think that it would get to the point where they'll defend me. Should I be happy about this or not? I can't believe this. You're actually defending her, Aiden? What happened to your hate for her? Kaden? I know, you also hated the very ground she walked on. Why are you all so suddenly protective of someone like her? Rachel questioned in anger. That's because she's our slave, period. Are you telling me that even a slave is better than me now? Do you realize that you're treating a slave better than your girlfriend? Rachel asked in anger. At this point, I don't know what to feel towards her. But if I should be honest about my feelings, I feel sorry for Rachel, even though my present situation doesn't require me to feel sorry for another when I'm equally in a sorry state. Stop calling yourself our girlfriend. You're nothing but a whore, Jaden snapped at. What the hell? I don't think I'll ever survive it if I was the one who was being insulted this way, considering her relationship with them. Which brings me to the question. Are they really acting this way towards her because of me, or could it be that there's more to what meets the eye? Alana, you have no idea just how much I hate you right now. Seeing the hateful expression on Rachel's face, I don't need to be told twice that she truly is disgusted with me. It was all in her expression. Just then, Rachel began walking towards me with the speed of light. Rachel, if you dare take one more step towards Alana, I swear we'll get you expelled for good, and you know we are capable of that, don't you? Kaden asked, and immediately she halted. She bit her bottom lips, suppressing her anger while I took the opportunity to flee from sight. Getting to my room, I put down my bag and jumped on my bed. I don't know what to say or do about the present situation at hand. I can't tell if this is a good sign or a bad one. At the rate at which they are going, it wouldn't take long before everyone finds out that I'm their mate. And of course, I'll never let that happen. They killed Stefan after all the wrongful things they had done to me. I must be insane to ever accept them as my mates. The next day, I got to school and it was time for PE. Since they made it impossible for me to have a friend in school, I was alone while the others had friends they played and exercised with. I wouldn't deny the fact that when I see them this way, I can't help but feel envious of those who have friends. After our pee, I decided to go to the restroom to splash water on my sweat and sticky face. Just as I washed my face and tried to roll some tissues, the door to the restroom suddenly pushed open and no one else but Rachel showed up. At first, I froze thinking this was trouble, especially since she came in alone. But then, to save myself from this trouble, it was better I ignore her like nothing ever happened. Just as I turned around and walked towards the door, Rachel suddenly grabbed me by the hand and pulled me back forcefully. Where do you think you're going, slut? I staggered backwards, but quickly picked up my balance. What do you think you're doing, Rachel? Listen, I don't have time for your troubles. Just pretend like you never saw me. Rachel scoffed with her hands folded on her chest. Now you can talk, huh? Why, because the Alphas seem to be on your side? I didn't say a word to Rachel, knowing she was trying to cause me trouble. Let me tell you what you don't know. No matter how many times you offer your pussy to them, they'll never make a big deal out of you. You know why? Because you're nothing but a cheap, stinking slut. I shut my eyes as Rachel rained curses on me. I'm used to that now. This isn't her first time insulting me anyway. Rachel, I understand why you're this pained. However, it'll interest you to know that I'm not your enemy. If you so hate the way the Alphas are neglecting you, then you should go to them, not me. How dare you talk to me like that? The next thing I knew, Rachel hit me hard across the face. That is for being a smart mouth when you don't realize where you belong, cheap slut. I'm sure this is what your mother did to the Alpha to become Luna. But nobody cares because she's a deadbeat Luna anyway. When she said these words, it felt like she had just loosened the nuts in my head. I don't think I can take it anymore. There's no way I'll watch her insult my mom. Repeat what you just said. What? So you're also deaf? Well, I said your mom is nothing but a... I didn't let her complete her statement before I smacked her hard across the face, and she went staggering, bumping her back to the wall. When I was still the daughter of Alpha Riva, no one dared to mess with me, especially girls like Rachel. But here, I had to swallow my pride and act all weak, even though that was never in my DNA. How dare you hit me on the face? I swear I'm going to teach you a lesson you'll never forget. Rachel snapped and headed towards my direction in rage. I didn't bother to stop her. I wanted her to come at me. I needed to see what she was capable of. Just as she charged towards me, I noticed that she was aiming for my hair, but before she could grab a hold of it, I pounced on her, pulling her hair instead. Arg. Let me go this instant, she cried out while trying to get my hands off her hair. No more, Rachel. From now on, I'm going to fight you to the last drop of my blood. Did you really think that I was going to let you mess with me? Well, that would be in your wildest dreams. I will never let you bully me ever again. This will be the very last time I'll let you try such with me. Do you understand? Chapter 17, How Dare You? Alana's POV. Arg! I screamed out. Instantly, I began to feel my bones snap. It was happening again. Arg! I continued to scream as the bones on my entire body snapped and cracked. Furthermore, it felt like my body had been set on fire. W, what do you think is happening to her? Why is she suddenly screaming? They asked one another in panic. The pain, the bone snapping, and the feeling of hotness was the same way I felt on the night of my coming of age. Could it be that my wolf was about to break free? When I heard the last scream, I instantly found myself on all fours, occupying the entire room. The chains with which I was tied with broke into 1,000 pieces. The men who were in the room screamed out in horror when they saw my wolf. Just as they were about to turn around and flee, I hit them with my tail and stomped on them. Seeing that the door was wide open, I took that as an opportunity to get out of the room in my wolf form. Though I was weak, but in my wolf form, there's this energy that took me off the ground as I ran. Just as I was about getting into the woods, I noticed it became difficult to forge ahead. It seemed as though all the strength I had left, I had used to escape from that room. I felt like dying. Maybe it wasn't a bad idea to die here than in the forbidden room. If I had died in there, I'm sure no one would know. After running for a whole day, I had become terribly exhausted. Even though I was in my wolf form, I couldn't stop the weakness I felt all over. Just then, I noticed the energy dissipate gradually. The next thing I knew, I was back in my human form and fell to the ground. Was this my death? Was I finally dying? Just as I was about embracing darkness, I noticed a silhouette of a man standing in front of me. I was too weak to see who it was or what he would do to me, since I was weak. I felt being lifted off the ground, and that's just about all I could remember before I passed out in his arms. Cadence, POV. We just came back from a party which we attended with the daughter of Alpha Montez Darkman. I don't know about the others, but I know she's not my style. A spoiled princess who thinks she could get anything she wants with the snap of her finger. Aiden, what do you think about Sierra? Jaden asked as he sat on the couch, looking tired just like me. Don't even get me started with her. I don't know what Dad actually expects, but if he thinks she's someone I want to be with, then he's highly mistaken. I don't see myself with that spoiled brat. Oh, and here I thought I was the only one who noticed this. Come on, brother. This isn't the first time we noticed that we have the same taste for women. Sierra isn't a bad fit, just that she's too perfect, and that's boring to us, Jaden said. We simply don't like perfect women, that's the bottom line, Aiden added. I just nodded my head because they were right. Just then, I noticed that Alana wasn't coming. At this time, she always brings us dinner. Guys, have you noticed that our mate isn't here? I asked. They all looked around as though they had just been reminded of something they forgot. I'm sure she must be in the kitchen, preparing dinner. While we wait, how about I check up on her, Jaden said, getting up from his chair. We all nodded our heads, urging him to do so. Some minutes after Jaden left, he came back carrying a panicked expression. Guys, I think Alana's missing. What? Aiden and I exclaimed at once. How did you know? I mean, there's no way she could have just disappeared, Aiden complained. What if she had run away? I said, trying to think things through. That's possible, but not with the tight security. Even if she had wanted to escape, we could have been informed by those we asked to keep watch over her, Jaden said. Since that's the case, then I guess there's only one person who could be responsible for her disappearance. I have a strong feeling about this, Aiden said with a creased brow. And who might you be talking about? It's no one else but Rachel. We all know Rachel never heeds the advice she's given. Then what are we waiting for? Call her, I urged Aiden. Immediately, Aiden sends one of the soldiers to drag Rachel to the pack house. Within 30 minutes, Rachel was brought into the pack house and pushed to the ground in front of us. W, why are you doing this to me? What did I do? She demanded with tears in her eyes. Where the fuck is Alana? What did you do to her? What? Alana again? You'd better start talking unless you want to be dealt with. How am I supposed to know where she is? Why always attack me for her? Rachel yelled. Currently, I don't know if to believe in Rachel's innocence or not. Guys, maybe she's not the one. Kaden, you still lack good judgment. I put it to you that it was all her doing. Aiden snapped, pointing his fingers at her. It wasn't me. How can you be so sure that it was me? I'm not the only one who hates her in the pack, and you know it. Shut the fuck up. Do you realize that I can actually send you and your family to exile? Not only will I send your family into exile, but I'll make sure you are tortured in the dark room without food or water until you're willing to confess. Aiden threatened. Why will you do that to me? Aiden, have you forgotten the bond we share? How can you even think of doing that to me? Guards. Jaden called immediately. Wait. Rachel stopped him with trembling hands. I'll tell the truth. Then start talking. Where the hell did you keep her? The forbidden room. She confessed, crying bitterly. How dare you? Jaden thundered in anger. Chapter 18, Saved by the Enemy. Caden's POV. I can't believe this, so it was Rachel all along? I couldn't help blaming myself for my poor judgment as we marched towards the forbidden room. Getting there, we saw the room wide open. Immediately, we all rushed in only to see two soldiers heavily wounded and lying on the floor. But there was no trace of Alana, though her scent was perceived strongly in the room. This only means she was indeed here before. "Where the fuck is Alana?" Jaden thundered, grabbing one of the soldiers on his chin. "Shh, she escaped," he managed to mutter. "What? She escaped? How's that even possible? How dare you lie to us?" "No, I'm not lying about this at all. She indeed escaped. You must believe me." "Arg!" In anger, Jaden knocked the wounded soldier and he passed out at once. "What exactly are we supposed to do now? Where could she have gone?" Aiden asked. I was deeply confused and troubled, and so was Jaden. "You know what? I don't think we can find her this way." Jaden and I took our gaze to Aiden. "What do you suggest then?" "I think we need to disperse and search for her." "I agree. That's a good idea." Aiden walked up to me suddenly. "Kaden, I understand your situation, trust me. But currently, you need to fight your illness. Her mate is missing, and I'm sure you care about her and wouldn't want her to get in trouble, do you?" I heaved a deep sigh. "Where do you want me to go, searching for her?" "You should stay in the pack, just in case she comes back. The soldiers might also find her first and bring her to the pack. Remember, you must try to get past your mysophobia. You don't intend to hurt our mate." "Don't talk like that. You know for a fact that I'll never do anything to hurt her." "You should know that by now." "Okay, then I'm going to trust you on this. Jada and I will go out searching for her as well, just in case she's somewhere helpless." With that said, Aiden and Jaden left the pack. Meanwhile, Rachel was taken to the dungeons. I don't know what to feel. I just hope that she's safe wherever she may be, even though I still can't describe my feelings toward her. I hope I don't get an episode when I see her. But then, I couldn't just stay put in the restricted area. Rather than just waiting on one place, I left the restricted area to search the nearby places. It didn't take up to a few steps when I suddenly perceived her scent. She was nearby. Immediately, I increased my walking pace. "Alana! Alana, where are you?" I called as I searched, following her scent. Just then, I noticed her scent was taking me to the deeper parts of the woods. This was strange. Did she come this way? If so, why was she here? Did she get chased, or has something bad happened to her? The questions kept ringing in my brain until I suddenly saw a shadow ahead of me collapse. At first, I paused to observe what it was, and to my greatest shock, it was none other than Alana lying on the ground. Quickly, I rushed over to meet her. "Alana!" I called as I rushed to her rescue. Getting in front of her, I froze. All I had to do was kneel and take her into my hands, but then I began to panic with a fast-beating heart. "No, not again." I shut my eyes and took a deep breath. "She's your mate, Kaden. You don't intend to hurt her. Alana is your mate, and you must do everything within your powers to protect her." I affirmed the words so it would sink to my head. Slowly, the uneasy feeling began to dissipate, and I slowly opened my eyes. I took my gaze downwards, and when I saw Alana lay on the ground unconscious and bruised, I felt compassion for her. I picked her up from the ground and into my arms to take her back to the pack. "Alana, stay with me. You can't leave me. You can't leave your mates. You have to give us a chance to right our wrongs, especially me. I would rather not have the memories of being bad to my mate. I want to be good to her, and I promise I'll do everything possible to take care of her." I rushed to the infirmary with her in my arms. Thankfully, when I arrived at the infirmary with Alana, Cannon was there. Caden, what's going on? Do not ask me too many questions, Cannon. You've got to save her, I said in panic as I rushed her to the bed. Hold on, isn't she your slave? Permit me to say this, but as far as I remember, you of all people hate Alana to the bones. How come you are being good to her now? I cast a death glare at Cannon, and we quickly went silent. Do not ask me stupid questions if you still wish to keep your head in your fine neck. Please forgive my poor manners, Caden. I'll check on her now. Immediately, Cannon rushed over to Alana's side and examined her. While the examination was going on, I paced from one place to the next. I was sweating profusely and even on my palms. The only reason I felt this way was when I was scared. This was the same feeling I had when I lost my mom. Now I'm feeling the same way with Alana. Goddess, forgive me and help her. There's a lot I want to do for her to make up for the times which were lost. I wouldn't deny the fact that I had been terrible to her. I just need a second chance with her. I'd never once prayed to the goddess like this, not even when my mom died. I was only scared back then, but never prayed. But this time, I wasn't only scared, but I prayed for the first time. While I was pacing and praying in my thoughts, Cannon slowly took his hands off her. Cannon, what's going on? How's her health? Caden, if you had carried her here any later, she would have died. Chapter 19, Still Hurt. Alana's POV. I woke up wincing in pain. I looked around me and the first thing that invaded my nostrils was the smell of herbs. Wait, was I in the infirmary again? What could be the reason this time? I tried to move, but suddenly felt pains on my joints and I winced. Immediately, I laid back on the bed. Just as I was about to make sense of what actually happened to me, the door to the room suddenly flew open and the triplets came into view. They all looked as though they hadn't slept for days, with their whiskers of beards and dark circles under their eyes. My goodness, you're finally awake, Aiden exclaimed as he walked up to me. He sat by my bedside while staring at me. Caden and Jaden also came over to my side. Seeing their faces still irritated me to death. I wonder if I'll ever be able to forgive them even in the nearest future. What they did will forever traumatize me. Caden slowly moved over to my head side. Though he did not say a word, he suddenly held me by the hand. It was Caden who found you in the woods and brought you back to the infirmary. If it weren't for him, I wonder what would have happened to you. What? Why is Aiden suddenly saying this to me? It can't be that he meant that since Caden saved me, I'm indebted to him. Not wanting to see their faces, I turned away from them. Alana, we have no idea why this is happening. All we wanted to do was to help you. Little did we know that Rachel could be that bold to do that to you. I raised a brow that very instant. How did they know that it was Rachel? Well, that shouldn't surprise me. They possibly must have suspected her, though I never expected that she'll tell them that she was the culprit because I thought she only wanted to get rid of me so she could take my place. But then I'm not so sure that she knows my identity. So why did she tell them? For what Rachel did, we promised that we'll have her expelled from school. This way, no one would dare do such a thing to you ever again. This is a promise. Anyone found wanting will surely be dealt with, so you have nothing to worry about, Alana, Caden promised. What do they think they are doing? That I'll fall for them when they say things like this to me? This was all of their fault to begin with, so why should I give them credit over what they did? I shut my eyes as they continued to make me promise that they are going to punish whoever was caught bullying me. I must say that the power of a mate bond was indeed strong. Alana, you should have some rest now. Like we promised, no one would threaten you in school ever again. We'll send your greatest threat, Rachel, away, and she'll never be able to harm. What the hell was Aiden saying? In anger, I sat up on the bed. Did you say Rachel is my threat? Are you so ignorant or pretending to be? You are my greatest threat, so how dare you talk about Rachel? I yelled at Aiden. Alana, what the fuck is wrong with you, huh? Can't you see that we've been trying to make amends here? You don't spare any effort to go back to the past. Why don't you just forget about the past and think of your life now, huh? I bit my lower lip in anger when Aiden said this. How dare he talk that way when he was clearly the one at fault? As long as I live, I'll never forget what you did to me. Wait a minute, did you actually think that things will get better simply because you apologized, huh? I lashed out at him. Suddenly, I began to feel my whole body go into flames of anger. I've never been this angry before, and so I didn't understand why I was like this. Alana, please calm down. Jaden tried to persuade me, but I couldn't even control my anger. My wolf was on edge at this point. Aiden, please come with me. Alana's wolf is on edge. You would rather not get her more angry than she already is, Caden said, leading Aiden out of the room. Even after he left, I was still very much angry. Jaden, on the other hand, bent to look me in the eye. Alana, I know just how angry you are, but please, being this angry is not good for your health. You'll only hurt yourself this way. I know you hate us and wish to have us killed if only you had the chance. But I want to let you know that we are not happy with what happened to you. I do not fail to blame myself for what happened. I looked Jaden in the eye as he explained himself, though I was still mad at him and the others. When he suddenly leaned in and kissed me on the forehead, I found my anger slowly dissipating. No! What is wrong with my wolf? She can't just fall for him just for a simple kiss. If she continues like this, she's going to get us into trouble. Good night, Alana. I'll come see you tomorrow, he said with a smile before walking out of the room. What is this feeling? I can't go soft on them. I should never forget how they killed Stefan. They killed the man I loved, and now they want me to accept them as my mate? What will happen next if I still refuse to accept them? They'll surely try to kill me or turn me back to their slave. It's something they'll surely do, so there's no need to be happy. At the end of the day, things wouldn't turn out well. I laid back in bed, shut my eyes as tears ran down my cheeks. Even though Rachel will be punished, I still wouldn't be set free. My greatest wish was to escape from here. How do I escape without getting caught? I wish Stefan was still alive. He's the only one who can actually help me. The only one who genuinely loved and cared for me. It hurts that I'll never get to see him again. Chapter 20 offered as a breeder. Alpha Wade. Tell me, what did you find? Alpha, from my observation, I figured out that Alana has really gotten your sons wrapped around her fingers. What? I'm as shocked as you are, but this is the reality of things right now. If we are to stop this madness from taking place, then we would have to do something about her. In anger, I hit my fist hard on the table. How dare the daughter of a rogue confuse my sons into wanting her? How can the moon goddess do this to me? Alpha, please calm down. Getting angry will not solve the situation at hand. We must find a way to stop this madness before it escalates beyond measure. The only person fit for the position of Luna is the daughter of Alpha Montez. You know for a fact that having her as Luna will get us what we want. I need to stop this madness of my son's before it completely ruins my plans. If that's the case, what do you propose we do? I hit my nails on the desk while thinking of what to do. There's got to be something I can do about the situation at hand. There's no way I'm letting her become Luna. I would destroy her if I have to. My sons can get mad at me, but I know that with time, they'll understand why I did what I did for them. Call me Alpha Stallion. Ha! Alpha, you know how notorious he is. Don't tell me you want to work with him. Who says I want to work with him? When you have a thorn in your flesh, you do everything possible to get rid of that thorn, or am I wrong? Not at all. When you have a thorn, you try as much as possible to get rid of it before it develops branches. Good. Now you're following. Alpha Stallion from the Blue Crest Pack was welcomed into my office as per my order. Alpha Wade, finally you considered my offer? I thought you were still going to refuse me. Well, I'm glad you finally want me. Stallion, that's not why you're here. Matter of fact, I have something very important for you, and I'm sure you'll love it. This is the only reason I called you here. Oh, if that's the case, shoot. As long as it'll benefit me, I think I will agree. Matter of fact, I have finally decided to agree to one of your requests. Huh? For real? Yes. Didn't you say you needed a breeder from my pack? He went wide in shock when I said this. God. This is like killing two birds with one stone. Yes, I said that, and I haven't forgotten about it either. Good. I found you a good one. Never been touched yet. Huh? You mean you found me a virgin? Exactly. Now you know that I mean. You should know that I always give quality gifts. But of course I know that. This is why I want to work with you. I know just how appreciative you can be. So, where is this breeder? Stallion asked, looking around. Relax. I know you would like to see her. But before then, don't you think we need to come to an agreement about some things? Oh, Stallion muttered, giving me a knowing smile. This is a precious gift, and for this reason, you can name whatever conditions you want from me. I will do everything within my powers to satisfy your wants. I curled my lips in a smile. Though the bastard daughter of a rogue is useless, when it comes to helping me indirectly, she's quite worth it. All right, so this is how it goes. I want you to give me all the backing you can, and I also want you to convince Alpha Montez that it's best to work with me. Oh, about that. I thought you were about arranging an alliance marriage between his daughter and your sons? Stallion asked. Yes, but you see, I realized that the marriage process might actually take time. I want to reach out to him, but not through marriage majorly, if you understand what I mean. Oh, does this mean your sons are not willing to be married to Alpha Monte's daughter? I never said that. You know, they're still young. They don't know what it means to be alphas. Now I understand what you mean. As long as you get me what I want, then I can assure you that you have nothing to worry about. I'll surely get you exactly what you want. Of course. I'll get her for you. I'm counting on you then, Stallion said, getting up from his chair happily. I waited for my beta to send him off, and then I heaved a deep sigh of relief. Some minutes later, my beta came back into the room. Alpha, are you sure about giving Alana to Alpha Stallion? Why do you ask? Didn't you agree that this was a good idea, so why do you suddenly sound as if you're not okay with this decision? No, please don't get me wrong. That's not the case at all. What I'm trying to say is that your Luna might not be pleased if she were to wake up and find out that you've given her daughter to a pervert like Stallion. You worry too much. It's not like she'll wake up anytime soon. Even if she were to wake up, by then the deed would have been done, you know? What about your sons? Even if she were to agree on this, I don't think your sons will agree to it. Is that a problem? Do not worry about my sons. As their father, they can only do what I ask them to. They dare not disobey me, else they know exactly what they stand to lose. I hit my fist so hard on the desk mere thinking about how disobedient they had been because of that slimy bitch. These boys of mine are a pain in the neck. I won't let them destroy the pack which I had tried so hard to build. This is why Alana must leave my pack. Since I can't order for her death without my boys intervening, then I think the best way to go about this is to give her out. I'll make it seem like she was the one who offered herself to Alpha Stallion. The only way they can get rid of her from their hearts is if they hate her. Chapter 21, A Plan for Revenge. Alana's POV. I woke up only to see my mom at my side. This shocked the shit out of me and I jolted up from my bed. Mom, is that really you? I asked, staring at her. She had tears in her eyes, and slowly she reached for my hand and placed it in hers. I could feel her touch. This isn't a dream at all. Mom, so you're finally awake. Thanks to the moon goddess. At least she did one thing right for me. Alana, I'm so sorry for everything that has happened. Everything was my fault. Nothing was your fault, Mom. Do not blame yourself. Everything that happened was all the fault of Alpha Wade. How dare he come to our pack to take you by force when he was married as well? He destroyed our pack and killed Dad. This is something I'll never forget. I'll surely make him pay for what he did to us in the pack. Alana, please, I beg you. Do not do anything that will hurt you. What are you saying, Mom? My mom squeezed my hands tightly. All I'm trying to say is that I do not want you to fight your mates. Please make peace with them. What? Did I hear you right, Mom? You actually want me to make peace with those who bullied me and killed my boyfriend? You want me to accept them as my mate when their dad killed my dad? Mom, what the hell are you saying? Honey, I'm not saying you should forgive them, but we have to survive. If we truly wish to survive, then we must learn to let go of what they did to us in the past. I shook my head while staring at my mom. I never would have thought that she'll give in so easily. Mom, it was your husband who was killed by these people. Can you really forgive them? If you ask me, I'll tell you that I can't. Alana, you can't hold grudges forever. You need to learn to let go. Mom, do you know you're being a coward right now? It seems you've made your decision to want to be with Alpha Wade forever, but I beg to differ. I'll save myself on my terms. Yes, Dad said we should do everything within our powers to survive. I'll do everything to survive, but not under the Blood Rose Pack. Everyone disgusts me. I expected my mom to persuade me more, but she didn't, and I'm glad. You know what, Mom? I think it's better you go back to your room. It's good to see you awake, and I want you to remain safe. My mom sniffled back her tears. Mom, I cannot betray Dad by accepting my fate with my mates. My mom looked deeply hurt, but that's the only way I can make her come back to her senses. She left the room without saying a word. Alana, your mother is right. You need to accept our mates, my wolf said within. What? You can't be serious with what you just said. Did you actually mean that I should give those mates that almost caused my death a chance? And for what? So they could finally succeed in having me killed? Is that it? No, of course not. They aren't going to hurt you. You need them for the mating ritual. You need to let them protect you. Why are you sounding like my mom, huh? You were not here when I suffered greatly in their hands. That's why you're saying this without consideration for my feelings. Alana, please don't be stubborn. This is important, and I'm the last person to deceive you about something like this. You need your powers because you have a long journey ahead of you. Listen to me, please. And I said no. If you and my mom aren't concerned about my feelings, then fine. If you're not going to listen to me, then I'm going to take my destiny into my hands. There's no need to bother about me. My wolf and I had our disagreements as well, and we both stopped talking to one another. I have to find a way to make my wolf strong. If I truly wish to escape, there's no way I'll be able to do so with this petite body of mine. Over the years that I've been here, I have become too thin that I could hardly recognize myself. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but all I know is that I can't remain this way forever. There's got to be something I can do to help myself. Thinking about it now, I think I know what to do. I'll secretly train my wolf. I still remember the skills my father taught me before he died. I'll secretly strengthen my wolf without the knowledge of my mate or anybody in the pack. By the time I succeed in training my wolf, I'll escape from here. After running away, I'll make sure that I explore and get all the help that I can, after which I'll launch an attack on the Bloodrose pack. And when I begin, the first person on my target list is Alpha Wade. I'll make him die the same way he killed my dad. He's cruel and doesn't deserve to live anyway. As for my mates, since I'm unable to reject them now, I'll wait for them to break the bond. There's no way we can be close or share a mate bond. Not after I kill their dad. I'm sure our enmity will last for a lifetime. They never liked me genuinely, if not for the mate bond. I scoffed, mere thinking about what might happen in the future. This is one more reason why I can't get swayed by what they do for me now. I'm so sure that if that time should come, they'll hate with me even more, and I'm so ready for their hate. The only person I fear for is my mom, who might be a drag. I don't understand why she's giving up so easily. My dad will surely not be happy to see this action of hers. Alana, it's time to stand up for yourself. Do not get swayed by anyone. If the moon goddess isn't going to help you with this battle, then you'll have to help yourself. I encouraged myself and laid back on the bed to sleep. I have, once again, built confidence in myself. Chapter 22, A Mother's Protection. Hannah's POV. I'm sure my daughter will understand someday why I cannot tell her about her true identity. As the last of the Moonwolf bloodline, I must do everything within my powers to keep my daughter safe. I don't care if I have to walk on fire and ice. As long as I'll be able to see my child safe, I'll be more than willing to obey Alpha Wade. The reason Alpha Wade needed his true mate was to cure him of his disgusting disease, which he had developed over the years, and it's said that only his true mate can calm him down. This is the only reason that I'm here, even though I do not wish to be his mate. I don't know how long I can pretend to be ill just to avoid being with him. As soon as I got to my room door, I looked around, and when I noticed the coast was clear, I slowly turned the doorknob, opened the door, and walked in. But to my greatest shock, I found Alpha Wade sitting on my bed with his gaze in my direction. I froze on the spot watching him. So, finally, you're awake. I thought when you wake up I'll be the first person you'll go to, but who would have thought that you'd rather go to your daughter? Are you perhaps forgetting the fact that it's me who is your mate and not her? Please don't get mad. This will never happen again. Never happen again. You literally ignored me, your mate for your goddess-forsaken daughter. I shut my eyes and took a deep breath. I know that a little mistake from my side will get me in huge trouble. Please, Alpha Wade, you can't hold this against me. She's my daughter and I needed to know how she was doing. Oh, I see. You needed to know how she was doing, huh? He asked while walking towards me. Judging from the way he approached me, it was obvious that he had some plans up his sleeve. He came closer and grabbed me by the neck. Since you're already here, I guess it'll not be a problem to serve me now, will it? I went wide in shock. I just woke up. I need time to recuperate. Recuperate? You can do that while serving me, he said and pushed me towards the bed. I began to tremble at his actions. I had always thought that it was better to serve Wade than let him hurt my daughter. But now that I'm supposed to serve him, I'm scared to death. Hannah, since you were in a coma, you might not know the situation. You know that your daughter is mated to my sons? But then I was glad that she rejected them and didn't want anything to do with them. You can't imagine how disappointing it would be to have someone unworthy like your daughter become the Luna of my great pack. However, this doesn't seem to be working, as your daughter has bewitched my sons. He increased his hold on my neck, his eyes red with rage. I let out a gasp, but I did not resist as he held my neck stiffly. You know what? I was having the thought of letting your daughter go, but who knew that she was going to come in between my plans? For this reason, I think it's better to sell her out to an alpha as his breeder. At least that way, she'll be useful rather than be a liability and a hindrance in my pack, he said, pushing me down on the bed. Alpha Wade, please don't do this. I understand just how angry you are over what happened, but it's not the fault of Alana to be mated to your sons. You also said that she didn't want to accept them as her mate, didn't you? Well, she doesn't deserve it from the beginning. I blinked back the tears that stood in my eyes. This isn't the kind of life my daughter should live. She deserves better. Alpha, please, I'm begging you. I quickly rushed down from the bed and knelt on the floor. Please, don't send my daughter to anyone. We would stay away from you and your sons as much as possible. Not you, but her. Don't you understand? You're my Luna, and for that reason, you are not permitted to leave me. But what about my daughter? She's my child, for goodness' sake. You can't expect me to abandon her. I will never accept the evil seed from the useless rogue Alpha. When he insulted my late husband, I bit my bottom lips in anger. He won't stop torturing me with these words, would he? Fine. Immediately, I rushed towards the dressing mirror and hit it so hard that the mirror shattered into 1,000 pieces. What the fuck do you think you're doing, Hannah? I quickly searched for a particle and immediately took out a sharp piece, turned around to face him while I directed the sharp edge of the broken mirror to my neck. What the hell are you doing, Hannah? What do you think? I pleaded with you, but to refuse to listen to me. If that's the case, then I'll rather die than watch you sell my daughter off to become a sex slave. He stared at me without moving a step. What? You're willing to end your life for your daughter? Hannah, are you perhaps forgetting the fact that I'm the one who owns your life? No, you are mistaken. I own my life and can make whatever decision I see fit. Oh, I see, he nodded his head. Just then, I noticed someone at the door from the corner of my eyes. I took a quick glance at the door and noticed that it was Alana. She was looking at me with tears and anger in her eyes. I blinked and mind-linked her never to react or come in. I know Alana, and if I don't tell her to stop, she'll come into the room. By then, only the goddess knows what will happen. I can't watch my daughter die because of me. Alana, please leave like you never saw anything. I promise that I'll be okay. You don't have to worry about me, I said through the mind link while staring at Wade. He had his hand folded into a fist while looking at me. I don't care just how pissed he was, as long as I can save Alana. So are you going to change your mind over my daughter, or would you prefer I take my life? I asked, pushing the broken mirror closer to my neck. Get that thing away from your neck this instant. Chapter 23, The New Girl in My Class. Alana's POV. Finally, I get to be in class without having to be troubled by Rachel and her gang. The triplets actually did what they promised. However, this doesn't concern me at all. I wasn't impressed in the least. Hey guys, do you know Alphamonte's daughter is finally going to attend our school? One of Rachel's minions whispered behind me. Though they haven't troubled me since Rachel left, I still don't like them. Since they were sitting behind me, I could literally hear all of their conversations. Are you sure about this? Where did you get this news from? Another asked. Well, from the chemistry teacher. You know he's my uncle, right? Oh, that's right. Wow, so just after Rachel left, we are going to welcome an outstanding student from the second most powerful pack? Wow, isn't the goddess smiling upon us? I shook my head. As long as she's the daughter of an alpha, there's no doubt that she'll be a brat. But then, what could be the reason she's been transferred to our school since her pack is the second best? I want to believe that they have good schools over there. Just as I was thinking about this, I suddenly heard my classmates murmur. I creased my brow and quickly looked up, only to see our chemistry teacher with a girl who's almost my age beside him. Wow, she's beautiful, the class murmured. Looking at her, I wouldn't deny the fact that she was indeed beautiful with nice curves. I just wonder what kind of problem this transfer student will cause. As the black sheep of this school, I'm sure it wouldn't take that long before she replaces Rachel. These daughters of werewolf leaders are just too overbearing. Though I'm also an alpha's daughter, I never once acted this way. This is our new transfer student, Sierra Montez. You all treat her with respect as she's the daughter of Alpha Montez. The whole class gasped in shock. Meanwhile, this girl in question smiles cheekily. Just as I thought, she liked the attention she was getting, and I'm so sure that someone like her would do everything to be noticed. If there's anyone trying to take her spotlight, that person would be in for trouble. Miss Sierra, please take a seat at any seat of your choice our chemistry teacher offered. Miss Sierra, please come sit with us. We have vacant seats over here, the girls behind me said. I rolled my eyes while looking away. But of course, this was typical of them to do, and I'm not surprised anymore. The new girl in question came towards their direction. I knew it! I know just how people like her behave. Just as I was about to take out my chemistry textbook, I suddenly noticed someone taking the seat next to me. This made me freeze and slowly took my gaze to my side. To my greatest shock, I saw the new girl sitting right next to me. Just as our eyes met, she smiled and waved at me. Hi, she said, still smiling. Huh, I muttered. This action of hers only made me feel awkward. Did she perhaps make a mistake? I mean, the bullies behind me are the ones trying to befriend her. I can't help but wonder if she was actually mistaken because I was sitting in front of them. Maybe she actually thought that I was the one who wanted her to sit next to me. Too bad I'm not sick enough to let such a thing happen. You're Alana, right? When she called my name, this further made me feel shocked. Yes, she's Alana, a nobody in our class who managed to be in the same class as us, one of the girls said behind me. Good. I should really thank them for this introduction. Girls, you're not being nice, you know. I don't like those who bullies. When she said this, they all went silent. I was shocked to hear this as well. I couldn't help but look at her. She seemed to be satisfied with herself after what she said, and that further proved to me that she was only doing all this for show, and not because she didn't like bullies. "We're so sorry, Miss Sierra. You're so kind-hearted. In fact, you're the best." The girls praised, and I saw her eyes lit up with excitement. Right there's no way she can fool me by acting all delightful with me. She must have thought that I didn't know her intentions. Well, she can keep dreaming. When it was time for break, I decided to go to the library and study for my test. Just when I thought I was going to have a quiet time, someone suddenly sat next to me. The scent I perceived was like that of someone I know. I raised my head up, and once again it was Sierra. "Hi. We meet again," she said with a laugh in her eye. "Why are you here?" I couldn't help but ask. "Of course I'm here to read." I raised a brow as I stared at her, an indication that I don't believe what she just said. Okay. I could already tell that you're not comfortable with me. But why, though? I should be the one asking you why you're comfortable talking and smiling to me. Huh? Do I need a reason to do that? Well, the things I've heard about you is the reason I like to be a friend. What, you heard a lot about me? But you just resumed school today? Of course. You must not know this about me. Before I go to a new school, I always have a rundown of all the students I'm going to encounter in my class. Oh, I see. Yes, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have known that you're actually a nice person who only became a victim of bullying by your classmates. Was that actually what you were told? I asked while flipping through the pages of the book I had wanted to read. Oh, so there's more? She asked wide-eyed. I don't know if her reaction is real or if she's only pretending just to get my attention. All I knew was that I don't feel comfortable around her. Miss Sierra, I bet you'll enjoy reading at the library. Meanwhile, I think I have to take my leave. What? Why are you suddenly leaving? Chapter 24, The Invitation. Alana's POV. For the past week, I've been under the pestering of Sierra. No matter how much she said she wanted to be friends with me, I can't help but feel skeptical about her. I can't control the feeling I was having. It was as though she's pretending to be who she's not. The more I stayed in the pack, the more disgusted I became. The triplets always came to my room each night. At school, I get to see a pretending Sierra. For some reason, I could feel that she's not someone I want to get close to no matter what. I need to leave this pack with my mom. That has been weighing down on my mind so heavily. I thought my mom was a coward who was willing to betray my dad, but when I saw her pointing the broken mirror to her neck, ready to kill herself at any moment, it made me feel guilty for ever thinking that she's a coward. I came to realize that indeed, the only reason why she was willing to stay loyal to the alpha of the Blood Rose Pack was because of me. All of her decisions were for my sake, and this is more reason I must leave this pack as soon as possible. Getting to school that morning, I was surprised to see my classmates all holding an invitation card with smiles on their faces. Just then, someone suddenly held my arm. I quickly turned around to see Sierra. Sierra? Hey, Alana, I've been waiting for your arrival. Here, have this, she said, stretching out one of the invitation cards I had seen in the hands of my other classmates to me. What's this for? Well, I'm inviting you to my welcome party. You'll come, right? My jaw dropped watching her. This has never happened before. I know my classmates celebrate and party a lot, but I had never been once invited for things like this. Alana, don't just stare at me. Tell me you'll come, please. She pleaded, blinking her eyes. I don't understand, Sierra. Was she genuinely trying to be friends with me? I mean, I'd always thought she was pretending to be nice. She had no reason to invite me to her party, but here I am holding her invitation card. Immediately, I snapped out of my surprised state. I'm sorry, Sierra, but I don't think I can make it, I said, giving back the card to her. Why? Haven't you seen my sincerity yet? No, that's not it. You don't realize that by inviting me to your party, you'll surely lose the respect the others have for you. If being friends with you will make me lose the others, then I would rather not be friends with them. Huh? What are you saying? I whispered while looking around. Don't be afraid, Alana. As long as I'm here, I'll never let anyone bully you. I creased a brow while staring at her. If I was asked, I seriously do not know if to trust her words or not. I just hope that she's not lying to me. What do you say, Alana? Can't you see that I just want to be friends? Seeing her pleading with puppy eyes, I began to relax my guard. Though my wolf wasn't that much relaxed, I was beginning to get moved by her words. Maybe she truly just wants to be friends. It wouldn't hurt to be friends with someone like her, I guess. All right, I'll come, I muttered. She went wide when I said the word. What? Do you really mean that? You'll come? That's what I said, or maybe I shouldn't. Sierra immediately covered my mouth with her hands. What are you saying now? I've heard you. You'll come, and that's all that matters. I noticed my classmates immediately went silent, looking in a particular direction. I turned around only to see the triplets all standing at the door and looking in my direction. Immediately, I turned away. I do not wish to give the class any room for suspicion. Hey, Aiden, Caden, and Jaden, Sierra greeted, waving at them with excitement. I've never seen her greet the Alphas before, so I was surprised to see that she was delighted to see them. Could it be that she knows them? Their new lover, perhaps? But if that's the case, then I should have seen her in the pack. Sierra haven't visited the pack for any reason, so I doubt my initial thoughts about them are valid. Here, I specially brought invitations for you. Please try to attend the party. I would like to see all of you there, and do not give me excuses. What? She's going to invite them too? I looked down at the invitation card I was holding. Maybe I should return it to Sierra, but if I do, wouldn't it make things more obvious? I sighed deeply. I was confused and didn't even know what to do. Why do things have to end up this way, for goodness sake? After they were done talking to Sierra, I noticed Aiden walk towards me. That instant, I began to panic. Every little closeness with them makes me think that the others will find out about our bond, and that's something I strongly do not want happening to me. See you at home, Pumpkin, he whispered close to my ears before walking away. I turned around to look at them, smiling at me before walking away. Just then, I saw Sierra's expression turn sour for a brief second, or so I thought, because she suddenly brightened up the next second. Now I can't help but wonder if what I saw was actually just my imagination. Either way, I just hope it's not what I'm thinking. She has no reason to be that wary of me. # the party. For the first time, I could leave the pack to attend a party. Since I didn't have a decent dress to put on, I wore my old white my dress, which was a gift from my dad when I turned 16. Since I was still petite, the dress still fit me. The only difference was that it has become short. Before, it used to be a little below my knee, but now it's above my knee. Looking in the mirror, I noticed I seemed to look a little sexy, but then I had no choice since it was the only nice dress I had. Chapter 25, Drugged by a Friend. Alana's POV. The moment I got into the party hall, my heart skipped. Beautiful dresses, hair, and makeup from girls my age were flying in the air. I held on to my dress tightly while looking around. All the girls seemed to wearing beautiful high heels except me, who was only wearing an old sandal. Since I was tall, I still managed to stand out in height even though I wasn't putting on heels. At the party, I noticed that all the kids gathered seemed to be from wealthy homes except me. Why would Sierra invite me when it seems I'm the only slave among them? This is a bad idea, and I better leave before things get out of hand. I know my classmates, the moment they see me, they'll try as much as possible to embarrass me. That's not something I'm willing to accept. I hate to be embarrassed that way. Just as I walked out of the area, I suddenly heard my name behind me. Alana, you came. I slowly turned around, and when I noticed that it was her, I smiled cheekily, even though that's not what I felt at the moment. Sierra, congratulations on your welcome party. Oh, thank you so much, she said with a smile. Her dress was dazzling, and her makeup was flawless and beautiful. For the first time, I wished I could go back to looking like a princess. But then, reality immediately reminded me that becoming a princess simply means I'll have to bring my dad back to life and revive my old pack. That is the only way I can become what I want. Since you're already here, why don't you come with me? She said, holding me by the hand. Sierra seemed nice. I saw her smile at her friends while holding my hands. Sierra, you might want to let go of my hand, I said the words while looking around us. Anyone who saw Sierra holding me seemed to hold a disgusted expression, and this only made me feel nervous, and so I stopped waking. Sierra paused and moved back towards me. What's the problem? She asked with a confused expression. It's your party. Maybe you should pay attention to the way the others are staring at you. She looked around, and I'm sure she noticed exactly what I was trying to explain to her. Don't mind them. They are just jealous that I didn't give them as much attention as I give you, she said, still pulling me along with her. They are right, though. I still don't understand why you're willing to make me your friend. Alana, haven't you had friends in the past before? If you have, I'm sure you'll understand that making friends with anyone doesn't mean I must have a concrete reason. My soul aligns with yours. Please come with me. Let's get you beautiful, she said, pulling me into a room. Huh? What do you mean? I asked as I was dragged into the room, which I noticed was huge and full of different dress collections. I went wide in shock when I saw this. Wow, this is beautiful, I must say. You like it? Can I be honest? Of course you can. I don't like it, I love it. She chuckled lightly and nodded her head. Since that's the case, let's get you some beautiful dresses to fit in. With that, she made me try on different dresses, which looked so beautiful on me. We had a hard time choosing which was best since they all looked beautiful. Finally, we settled on a short blue gown that looked stunning on me. Sierra, I don't think I can put this on. Why not? It looks good on you. Just take it as my offer of friendship. Huh? Are you giving the dress to me? But of course, I want you to have it, you know. But I don't think it's a good idea to... Hey, stop saying it's not a good idea and just accept it already. You worry too much, you know. I blinked, staring at her. I had no idea that Sierra was this perfect. She indeed deserves to be treated nicely, I must say. So, are you going to accept my friendship or not? She asked, pouting her lips. I have no reason to reject her. I should be glad to have someone like her by my side. All right, I accept you as my friend, I muttered, staring at her with a smile on my face. My goodness, this is the greatest news I've heard in ages. I couldn't say a word and slowly took my gaze back to the dress I was putting on. Just then, the door pushed open and a waiter came in carrying 2 glasses of juice. Ma'am, the wines you ordered for, the waiter said. Oh, thank you. She picked up a glass and urged me to pick one for myself. I smiled at her and did just as she told me to. Let's toast to our new friendship, she said, stretching her glass towards me. We both clinked glasses to seal our friendship, after which I drank mine as well. After drinking, Sierra suddenly rushed out of the room when her phone buzzed. I'll be with you in a jiffy to find you some nice shoes, she said and walked away, shutting the door behind her. Since I was alone, I took that as an opportunity to admire the dress which I was putting on. The dress was so fine that I couldn't stop admiring it. Just then, I began to feel dizzy. This isn't right. Why am I suddenly feeling so dizzy? What could be wrong with me? I tried to move my body, but that seemed more like a chore. I wasn't just feeling dizzy. It seemed there's more to my dizziness. I began to feel hot all over my body. Suddenly, the door pushed open again. I turned around thinking it was Sierra. I wanted to complain to her about how I was feeling. But to my greatest shock, it was a guy. I creased my brows as he walked towards me. Who are you? I managed to ask. Someone who is here to satisfy your craving, he said and pulled me towards him. As soon as our body met, my whole system seemed to charge with lust. It was only then I realized that I had just been drugged. How wonderful! Now I understand what Sierra's aim was. Since it has turned out this way, I might as well give myself away if this is the only way to get rid of the triplets.